Hello, May King. Thank you so much for being here. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Lenka. I love these white teeth that the that Zoom's giving me right now. Look at that! Don't even need to go to the dentist. Amazing. That is awesome. Hello, everybody. How are we today? We are going to talk about how to create FOMO for your business on social media right now. And I mean right now. We're in unprecedented times at the moment. A lot of us are, thinking, oh my gosh, what we're going to do with our business. We're a little bit worried. And I know that some people have actually stopped creating social media content because for a whole host of reasons. But now is a great time to make sure that we keep on social media to ensure that we're not forgotten, so that when we come out over to the other side, people will remember you for being there all through that time. So let's talk about how to create FOMO for your business. Now, before we do a little bit of that, let's talk about who is May King Tsang, because I like talking in the third person. I am a professional live tweeter. I am a live social media reporter, and I'm also a live content creator. Now, over the next few slides, I'm going to explain what each of those titles mean and give you a few case studies of how I've actually live tweeted, how I became a live reporter, how I created a live content creator, and hopefully it will inspire you to actually do a little bit of that yourself. So if you're listening in at the moment, and I look forward to your questions and answers later on, we're actually going to do a little bit of FOMO for your own business at the end of this session. So what is a professional live tweeter? Well, it's someone who tweets in the moment, right now, raw, real, right now. So if you're at an event, you're listening to a speaker, right? And when you're listening to a speaker and you've heard them speak and you think, wow, that is such an amazing piece of information, you, kind of like a reporter, you'll tweet about that. And on average, I can tweet about 1,200 times. For Cambridge Social Media last year, I tweeted 1,086 times. We reached 1.1 million people. We increased Cambridge Social Media's profile. I was also asked by Lenka at the dead of midnight, if she remembers, she called me, she said, can you go on the stage the next day for 10 minutes just to explain about the hashtag? I said, yeah, sure. I hadn't prepared anything, but I went on stage. I explained why it's important to use CSM 2019. It's not for Cambridge Social Media. It's actually for you guys. It is for you to tweet, talk about the amazing speakers that you've heard, and the amazing people that you've met, and really tell the world how amazing Cambridge Social Media Day is, so that people who are watching the hashtag from the sidelines get FOMO. And if they get FOMO, they'll want to buy tickets for next year. So we did create FOMO, and as I said, I actually was hired by Lenka in 2018, and I did such a job to hire me again for 2019. And I'm just waiting to see, put my fingers crossed there. Lenka, are you listening? Is she going to hire me for 2020? Well, we'll see later on, won't we? That's what a professional live tweeter does. So on average, at live conferences, I can tweet on average 1,200 tweets a day. At a live event, I'm also a social media reporter. And so at another event, which was the BNI Staffs Awards, I created 21 interviews. I interviewed the people to ask them about being nominated for an award, what it would mean to them if they won. And we got some loads of excitement, and it was incredible. We put those videos out onto Facebook, repurposed onto LinkedIn, and also onto Twitter. We got FOMO because people were thinking, oh my God, I need to book onto this next year. And people did. People booked their tickets on for the next event. So those 21 videos, I actually was able to create 63 pieces of content and put it out onto the socials. So the next time you're thinking of doing video, you may want to do that yourself. Create the video on your phone and then broadcast it into more than one social media platform. It enables more chance of other people seeing your business, and it makes you unforgettable. That's what the whole idea of reporting is. And then, of course, I'm a live content creator, and this is stuff that you guys can definitely do. So when I talked about professional live tweeting at a live event, you can also do professional live tweeting at a virtual event as well. So, you know, as I say, I'm going to get you to do a little exercise with me at the end of the session. But at a virtual event, I did one in March, and I tweeted 730 times. Slightly different technique, because I had, rather than use my phone, take a picture of the speaker and then tweet immediately. Because I'm looking at someone speaking from my laptop, I have to use screen capture software on my desktop, and then tweet from my computer, or send the image onto my phone so that I can push it into more than one place. So that's why there's a difference between the number of tweets I do on a live event and the number of tweets I can do at a virtual event. And you guys can get involved too. So the live content creator creates content real, raw, right now. And we're talking about right now. And you can either do a video, you can do a social media post, which you put on Facebook, on Twitter, you can repurpose it onto LinkedIn, also onto Instagram, and you can push it onto the Instagram stories as well. And these are just a few of the case studies and examples that I did that for some of our clients. So I'm currently the FOMO creator, the official FOMO creator for Comic-Con. And for those of you who know Andrew and Pete, Linka loves Andrew and Pete. I'm a big fan of Andrew and Pete. They held their first conference last year, 350 attendees, one FOMO creator. I created 1,000 tweets there. We reached 28 million. More importantly for them, because I created things on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we managed to sell 425 tickets in a week. Now we're at a virtual conference, and it was supposed to be a face-to-face conference, but they changed it from a one-day to a month-long conference at the moment. So I'm the official FOMO creator for Atomicon 20, and I am going into the Facebook Live, into their pop-up group every day. I'm doing Instagram stories on behalf of Andrew and Pete. I'm doing tweets on behalf of them as well. So in the virtual environment, I'm still able to create the buzz and get the excitement from attendees. The case study in the middle is a smaller event, and it was actually a very intimate event where there were 7 people. And in 3 hours, I created 52 Instagram stories, 9 Instagram posts, 3 IGTV videos. I'm not saying this to show off, or maybe a little bit, but more importantly, for the event organizer, she was doing her amazing campfire conversation with these 7 attendees, having some incredible breakthroughs with her group there. And while she was doing that, I was creating all this content for her. So you've seen a photographer, right? You never notice a very good photographer. So at Cambridge Social Day, Jenny Wilcox was amazing, because you don't notice she's there, right? So a content creator like myself, you don't notice they're there, but they are creating content for the client. And so as a result of the things that I did for her, she got 30 website clicks, 4 inquiries about her next event, and 2 business owners who wanted to know about the structure of campfire conversations, so that she can actually bring it onto, into their audience. And then we've also got another case study on the right-hand side. Basically, I listened to an event from the maritime industry. I have no idea about the maritime industry, but I listened carefully, and I created 22 LinkedIn posts live on the fly, which meant we had lots of comments, views, and people really enjoyed the post. So these are the kind of things that you can do at an event live, or at a virtual event, thinking about the kind of content that you can create right now, which is real and raw, and posting it up there. And then you are associating your brand, your business, with the event that you've gone to. And more people are more likely to see your post, which is basically giving you more publicity for your, more visibility for your business. So What is FOMO? Let's start with that definition, shall we? And according to Wikipedia, FOMO is the anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere, often aroused by posts seen on social media. So I have actually had people who have been quite dismissive of my title, FOMO creator. Oh, I don't want FOMO, I want JOMO. I want the joy of missing out. But in a business context, you don't want people missing out on your business, do you? You don't want people missing out on your services. So what you're trying to do is trying to create a buzz about your product or service at an event. It's about raising awareness about what you do to attendees. It's about creating conversations and building relationships with attendees, speakers, sponsors. Maybe, you know, you start a great conversation with someone and you end up collaborating with them. You can also find work at an event, and I'm going to give you a few ideas or a few instances where I've actually gained work as a result as well. So there's just a few little messages on the right-hand side from people who have attended Cambridge Social Day. So the fabulous Ella Orr, she actually got work from Cambridge Social Day. She started networking. She told me yesterday. It was awesome. Yeah, we just got talking to an attendee, managed to get work from that. Who knew? And she bought a ticket for Cambridge Social Day because for Atomicon 20, she got FOMO as a result of seeing all the work that I posted out there on behalf of Andrew and Pete. That's why she booked onto this year's Atomicon 20. And she's also a resident Cambridge social media attendee as well, and she loves Cambridge social media. V, who's the lady in the middle, she has been stalking my stuff for about a year. I had no idea. She doesn't like my stuff. She doesn't engage. You know, she doesn't retweet. And in the last few weeks, she started to, and I thought, oh, this isn't interesting. And then finally, she sends me a message and says, what are your prices? Can you give me a rough guide on what your work? So if I wasn't posting at events constantly, then she would never see my work. And if she hadn't seen my work for over a year, I would not have got that request last week. And we're currently in discussions at the moment, which is amazing. Catherine Williams, another lady who wrote on LinkedIn about how she got FOMO. She saw all the excitement about this event and so decided to book onto this year's event. So this is about creating publicity for your business whilst you're learning from others, but really getting to engage and network with people, just like Ella did at Cambridge Social Day. So this is a 6-step plan on how you can create FOMO on social media to give you free publicity all the way through to gaining clients, okay? So on the column on the left-hand side are your 6 steps, and on the right-hand side, I'm going to share 2 stories with you, real stories of how I gained business. So I was tweeting Social Day, a London conference in 2018. This is where I met the fabulous Lenka. I was tweeting away just on my own account, making tea, talking, having conversations with people. I noticed a few of Lenka's tweets, and so I started to engage with her. And then I looked around and she was there at a table and I was nervous. I thought, oh, shall I go and talk to her? I think it's her. Looked at her profile picture. Yeah, it's the same profile picture, you know, because sometimes people put the profile picture of when they were 18, you can't tell. No, Lenka's not one of those ladies. And I thought, shall I go over? I'm a bit nervous. Oh, bother it. I'm going over and say hello. So I went over to say hello. Turns out she knew who I was all along and she'd been seeing my stuff. We were talking about what she was doing, Cambridge Social Media Day 2018, and I said, I'd love to get involved. That was it. She hired me because she'd already seen the incredible work that I was tweeting on my own account at Social Day. That was it. So we went through very quickly the 6 steps. I gave free publicity, Social Day. I wanted to associate my brand, Making Tea, with the Social Day brand. I looked at other people's tweets. I saw Lenka. I actually tweeted with her, first of all, on Twitter. Then I saw her in real life, was a bit nervous, and I thought, oh, shall I speak? Shall I go over? And I ended up going to talk to her. So I was good at making connections. And the fourth step, well, before I made connections, I was creating great content for Social Day, which Lenka saw, and that's why she hired me. And as a result of me creating the great content, I actually also gained followers. So personal I actually disappeared from social media 2014 to 2016. So my number of followers on Twitter stopped for 4,500 for 2 years. So I had to build it back again. So when I came back to the UK in 2016, I was tweeting, getting to know people, building relationships, growing my network, making connections, producing great content. And at the moment, I have got 10,300 followers. But I worked hard to build that number up. And then, of course, as I said, I've gained clients. I actually, became a client of Lenka's. In Social Day 2019, I was tweeting with a speaker. She loved the humor. She loved the interactions. We actually met for a chance cocktail, which was awesome at the end of the night. And then she said, I'm going to put you in touch with a conference that I am MC for, which was Comms Heroes. And I actually broke the internet 3 times that day for Conten Heroes, which was awesome. It was an event in Manchester. So remember those 6 steps. When you go to an event, do your tweeting, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Associate your brand with someone else's. Now, I know some people like to write blog posts after the event, and that is very valuable as well. But whilst you're there, why not try and get caught into the momentum? And, whilst so many people are watching a hashtag, you can get free publicity for your brand by keep tweeting, by keep Instagramming, keep Facebooking. And I know you're there to learn from other speakers, but sometimes some of the events have recorded sessions. Cambridge Social Day has recorded sessions, right? So why don't you go there to possibly network with other people? But you may not see those people again unless you take action. So, free publicity by doing all the socials, associating your brands with someone incredible like Cambridge Social Day, make connections, meet people in real life, and you never know, you can get some work like Ella did. You can create great content whilst you're doing it, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all live, all real, all raw. Get caught up in the moment, get caught up in the hype, get that FOMO, get people to get FOMO about what you've done, where you've gone to, and you never know where that leads. And it can definitely lead to clients, gaining followers, and actually building your reputation as well. So back onto you guys. So we've gone through the 6-step plan. I'm going to give you 8 ideas that you guys can implement right now. If you listen to a webinar, if you listen to next week's webinar, that Lenka is putting together, and you heard some incredible value, then you can write a post on Facebook. I've just listened to the incredible May King from Making Tea. She gave us 8 tips, and my biggest lesson was blah, blah, blah. You can do that right now. So let's talk about the 8 tips then. So tip one is the journey. Now, I actually attended a session, a Facebook Live at Atomicon, and the incredible Bella Vasta was speaking, and she was talking about Facebook groups. And she actually did a camera, and she said, I've got an incredible long journey. And she actually used her phone to go from her kitchen to her office. Just a little bit of fun because we're all on shutdown right now, but she documented her journey, which I thought was really creative, a little bit of fun. So of course, at a virtual summit, you're literally going from your living room to your kitchen, which is where I am at the moment, or your kitchen to your office. What you can do though is maybe take a cheeky selfie, of where you're going. And actually tag the event and say, I'm just listening to Cambridge Social Media. They've got a webinar with Making from Making Tea at the moment. You can actually do a selfie with your computer or your Mac. Just say, I'm just here at the moment. So from a virtual event perspective or a real life event perspective, you can do either of those. Definitely tag the host. And tag me if you're going to write about me, and definitely tag the event organizer. Now, the lovely Amy on the right-hand side there, we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago just to get to know each other. We both shared a speaking stage, It was one of the few, one of the events that I did before the lockdown in Lincoln, Lincoln University. And she said, let's catch up. She's got a digital agency. And anyway, she was just so inspired by my microphone. She had microphone envy. And so she decided, I'm going to take a picture of me with my microphone, which is a pen and this lovely fluffy thing. So that's the aim of just having a bit of fun. But that one post, she put it onto Instagram stories, Instagram feed, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, talked a little bit about her journey. So one piece of content she put on 5 different places. Tip number 2, if you're a little bit shy, and I know some of you are, Lenka is a loud and proud introvert. I am an ambivert, so sometimes I'm extroverted, sometimes I'm introverted. If you're not sure what to write at the moment when you're trying to create FOMO for yourself, why don't you have a look at the hashtag and see what other people are writing, and maybe, in the very least, like their post, or add a comment, or even share it onto your network. That's the way that you can slowly get back into social media. This is one of my clients, the CX Nomad. So she excels in customer service, and all their speaking gigs cancelled this year. So obviously she had to regroup. She was a little bit lost, and she decided, I need to give myself a break. She gave herself a break of a week, and now she was a bit worried about how to get back on track. So I gave a few tips like this, to like and share, comment on other people's posts, and she said, oh, that's a really good idea. So now she started to get back on track, which is amazing. And Claire Muscat is awesome. Go and follow her on Instagram. She's so cool. She does some awesome stuff with her Instagram stories, actually. I've learned a lot from her, to be honest. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, share your notes. Whatever you've written. Now, you can't be all as talented as the incredible Daniel Bays, who actually did this incredible illustrated page of her notes when she listened to a speaker, the incredible speaker, Victoria Fleming. However, you do write notes, you may want to take a picture, or maybe there's an incredible quote that you got from somebody. Why don't you use Canva to actually pretty that up and put it out onto the socials? If you have a square photograph, a square quote, put it onto Instagram, put it onto Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, stories, and write a long story about that particular quote, why it resonated with you, what did you learn from that particular quote. What was the thing that you learned from a speaker? Is there anything that you've learned so far from me that you'd like to share with the group? Why don't you do that? And the most incredible thing, of course, is when you write something once, you can share it on so many different places. And that's what we're doing here. Now, this actually, if you take a look at the details of this particular illustration, it'll actually give you some amazing ideas about sales. And we all need to know a bit more about sales and get more comfortable with sales, right? I learned something from Andrew and Pete the other day. Pete actually said, it only sounds sleazy in your head. I love that. I love that. I don't know about you, Lenka. I think that was amazing, because I am not comfortable with sales. I really am not. But he said it only sounds sleazy in your head. If you want some incredible sales tips, go and check out Victoria Fleming. She's on Be Salestastic on all the socials. She's incredible. Step 4, create a video, okay? This isn't me being all narcissistic, thinking I like the look of myself, taking 4 photographs so that you can see me, 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 and me. It is to illustrate the different ways in which you can create video, okay? So this is literally in my spare bedroom. So, I'm doing some FOMO for a virtual event at the moment. And I am, every day I've been appearing in Facebook Live just to do bits and pieces. I've also had some meetings as well. So in the middle, I'm pretending that I'm in San Francisco using Zoom and the virtual background. So, the logo here, I was just experimenting with the virtual background. And so I created that using Canva rather than going to San Francisco. So you can absolutely do that yourself. So, I'm going to ask you, and I know the answer, I'm going to say hands up to those of you who are scared of video. No, I am. Lenka, are you scared of video?
Yep, really.
But we need to get more confident because video's not going to go anywhere, right? And if you watch Lenka on her Instagram stories, she's got some incredible stories of her cute little dog and a little kitten and, you know, where she grew up. It's so cool. It's so, so cool. In fact, I've got FOMO of where she grew up. Honestly, serious FOMO. If you want to get confident with video, this is a great tip. Record yourself on your phone talking about your business just for a minute. Do it for every day for 5 days. Don't watch them every day for 5 days. On this 5th day, watch them one after the other. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it. You're going to go, oh my God, I've got a double chin. I've got grey hair. I look so fat. You're going to hate it. You are absolutely going to hate it. But then watch them again and you'll see that you've improved over the 5 days. Now, when you look at the positives, you'll realize that actually you're pretty amazing. And if you keep doing that, one day you'll get brave enough to put it onto social media. The only reason you're scared, I know, the only reason you're scared, because it was the same reason I was scared, was because you're worried about being judged. You're worried about what people think. You're worried, you've got major imposter syndrome, right? I've got major imposter syndrome. I think, oh my God, why would anyone want to listen to me doing all this FOMO stuff? I feel like such an idiot. Oh, I've had all those negative comments in my head all the time. But the thing is, you're not selling to yourself. You're providing value to the people out there. You know that you are an expert in your field. You know that you can help those people. So help those people by getting brave on video and posting your videos, or get brave to go on video eventually. I'm a member of an incredible group. This lady was talking about video. She was really scared. And I told her to do all these things. And she thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. But she didn't do it on her phone. She actually put it into the group, which is incredible. And she's just gained so much confidence now. This happened 2 weeks ago. And she's gained so much confidence by putting a video in the group every day. It was so, so good. Now, if you want more tips, you need to go and check out Ian Anderson Gray. His website, you can see there, iag.me. And he interviewed me on episode 23 on how to create live video to create FOMO. So by all means listen to that, but there are lots of other tips and tricks that Ian Anderson Gray will help you to gain more confidence in live video. It will help you impact your profits. And I can't remember his tagline, but anyway, go and check him out. He's an incredible guy. Okay, tip number 5. Selfie time. Now, of course, we're in a virtual setting, so we can't actually, actually do a selfie together. This is my beautiful, beautiful friend, Tim Lewis from Stone Press. He was one of the speakers at Cambridge Social Day in 2018. And this was us at a Brazilian restaurant. So I cheekily said, just having a Brazilian with Tim. Now, at a virtual event, of course, it's virtual. So this is Alex Curtis, who took a screenshot of me and him whilst I was being interviewed on his podcast show. Why are we doing this? We are humanizing our brands, making ourselves look real, and getting ourselves out of the camera, away from our logos and in front of the camera to get people to know who we are as a person, because people buy from people. You'll have heard Lenka say that so many times. People buy from people, and if they like you, then they will buy from you in time. But you have to produce great content. You have to produce it consistently. Otherwise, people will forget who you are. Remember that client who came to me after a year of her stalking me? So if you're not putting any content out there now, people will forget you. And we don't want people to forget you, right? Because you are providing a valuable service to your potential clients. So this is why you do silly selfies when you're at an event. Maybe you can take a selfie now, and just tell the world, tag me in, tag Lenka, tag Cambridge Social Day, and you're having an amazing time learning some great tips on how to create FOMO for your business. Okay, tip number 6 is to tag the event and also the attendees. So I had an incredible time at the Cambridge Social Day. This is 2018 when I was a FOMO creator and also a speaker as well. You can see Tim there, who I just spoke about. And so Jemima Wilcox, who's the official photographer, or one of the official photographers, was asked to do a silly photograph of all the speakers and panelists and said that's what we did. So these are my beautiful friends, Andrew and Pete, who I was talking about. Nicole is one. I know all these people and they're all wonderful people. So at a virtual conference, you can definitely do that too. I was actually attending a webinar. It was an hour long and I took a cheeky screenshots of them, but I learned so much from them. I wanted to say thank you. So I found their names on Twitter, and I said thank you so much. I learned so much from you, and took that cheeky screenshot. So that's what this is here. So you can do it at a virtual event and also at a live event. Now, the most important thing is to tag, not spam. What I mean by that is, and I'm sure Lenka will know this as well, because she created the Incredible Social Day, she has got a lot of followers and she is very popular. So a lot of people think, oh, well, she's got some followers there. What I'll do is I'll create lots of social media and tag Cambridge Social Day everywhere. I'll tag Lenka everywhere so that I can get more reach for my stuff. Not a great strategy. When people tag me all the time, but they don't ask me permission, or they, they try and use my my influence to get more numbers for their party, then I don't talk to them. Sometimes I might have missed their post, but generally it's because they want to try and gain some influence there from my audience. And I think that's a little bit rude, really. So just be a little bit careful when you're tagging. Don't tag everyone all the time unless you've been given permission to. So tag, don't spam. Tip 7, create your own Truman Show. So hopefully some of you may have seen this film. In the early 90s, Jim Carrey did not know that his whole life was being filmed. He did not realize, and the whole, all of his life, his wife, his children, the people he grew up with, his schoolmates, they were all part of this film. And so many social media rock stars have said to us, we are competing with the likes of Netflix, Now TV, even terrestrial TV. You know, we're flicking through and we're actually competing with all the social media channels as well. So we need to think of ourselves as our own TV show. And just like we've got the remote control, we've got so many channels to flick through, someone will eventually flick to your channel. But if you're not creating content in the first place, then no one's ever going to discover it, right? So when you're at an event, doesn't matter whether it's virtual, whether it is a live event, you can say a few things like you're at a TV show, like you are a reporter. Up next, quote the host and speakers, say thanks to them. And remember, you're providing value to potential watchers of your stuff so that in the future, they could come back and ask you about your services. So think about how you can create value to others. When a TV show is being made, they're thinking about the audience. They're thinking about how they can make the audience come in and watch that show. So they're not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about the audience. So you need to think about your audience when you're creating your TV show, when you're posting on social media. Step 8, this is the last tip, repurpose your content. I've talked about this before. 21 videos that I did for a client, we put it out onto three platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I could have put it on Instagram, could have put it on Instagram stories, could have put it on YouTube as well. They don't have those accounts. I put it on mine. So I repurpose them and put them all onto mine. So one piece of content can be placed in 5, 6 places. You can put it on your website, you can put it on your blog, there's loads of places you can put it to. And if you really want to go gangbusters, you can do repurposing or you can do repurposing. And when you're doing a video, you can use something like Quick, these guys here, and repurpose it. So you can actually create captions, subtitles for your video. On Quick, they have got, I think stats something like 67% of videos are watched with the sound off. So, you know, if you want people to know what it is you're talking about, then you need to put captions on them. And then when you've created these videos, you know, you maybe don't want all the videos to go out at the same time. So you can use a scheduling tool called Conten. Conten are friends of Cambridge Social Day. They sponsored the conference last year, and I interviewed him in 2018 as well. So you can do lots of things with that one video. So that one video can not only be posted in its entirety across all the socials, you can create blooper reels, you can create a trailer, you can create, you know, like a show reel of lots of little videos and repurpose out of that. So that's my 8 tips, everyone. And when you create that FOMO, lots of stuff happens, you know. So I talked about Andrew and Pete. I helped them sell 425 tickets in a week. For Janet Murray, I helped her to sell 55% of the tickets in a week. For Pods Up North, we were featured in The Guardian because of all the stuff that I was creating for them. It was incredible. But this isn't about me. This is about you guys. So I want you to get your phones out right now, or take a screenshot on your computer, and I want you to either, you know, or if you've already taken a picture already, I want you to either create a tweet, create an Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever, tag Making Tea, tag Lenka, tag Cambridge Social Media. Don't forget to smile, and let's create FOMO together. The 6 steps, this is how you can go from gaining free publicity for yourself all the way down to gaining clients. I've given you 8 top tips there. Thank you so much for your time. And if you've got any questions, please jump out and shout them at me. Don't be shy.
Well, wasn't this fantastic? Thank you so much, May King. This was brilliant. I wanted to jump in halfway through to just tell you that We is actually joining us live, and she said that businesses need to get real and start their strategic plans now, making strategy work time and time again. And yes, she admitted that she's been stalking you for a bit. So that's nice confirmation of actually that what you talk about, that that's actually does work. And the same for us, we keep getting asked about the next event, and people still have the FOMO from last event, so it's absolutely fantastic. Halfway through your talk, there were comments that who else is feeling FOMO while May King is actually speaking? That actually people are kind of like, you know, you can create a FOMO while just talking about creating FOMO. So that's fantastic to see. I'm just waiting if we will see any kind of questions. We have some amazing people joining us live. I wanted to say a huge shout out to Jim, Louise, Sylvie, and Tim, and Ty, and Natalie, and James. Wow, so many people joining us live. Fantastic. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, anything about live tweeting and how to use Twitter, social media to get more publicity or anything, just let us know. So there is a question coming from our team, actually. Tana is curious to know, when do we know how to stop and not overdo it? Are there any signs that you're actually overdoing it? Can we overdo it?
No, you can absolutely not overdo it. I'm sorry, I'm a bit perplexed with all this white tea and all this kind of stuff. Maybe I should stop the virtual background. Let's see if I can do that. No, you can't overdo it. Remember, you're competing with Netflix, you're competing with radio, you're competing with newspapers. No one is going to be looking at your station all the time. And if they switch off, it's probably because, you know, if they decide, oh, it's too much, it might be because you are producing not enough quality. At an event, it's okay to absolutely produce lots and lots of posts, you know, so I don't mind, you know, I'm proud of saying that I can tweet 1,300 tweets a day, 1,200 tweets a day, and 720 for virtual conferences. But that's expected because you want to create free publicity for yourself. The event organizer needs to create free publicity for yourself. And if people think that's too spammy, well, you can always switch off, and it's only for a day or however long that conference is, right? So this is about creating FOMO, create host live when you're actually at an event, when you're going networking or you're at an event or at a conference. When you're away from that, then that is when you need to be a bit more measured and decide on the quality of posts that you want to create. There's a big difference. But with regards to an event, you can never create too much, never. In fact, you can never create too many stuff outside an event either, because like I say, you're competing with everything. Netflix, you're competing with Now TV, you know, absolutely everything.
Fantastic. We have a comment from Wee who says, I have learned from Making that you must always ask people what their social media handles are. So many membership organizations fail at not obtaining this info, and so my advice on this is very helpful. Do you have any other advice for potentially event organizer, be it a small networking event or be it a memberships or anything, what not to forget when you're trying to encourage people to create FOMO?
Oh, I mean, 100%. I mean, thanks for tuning in, V. I really appreciate it. And yes, I hope you saw the slide at the start where I was mentioning you as well. So yeah, I think it's great. Yes, you need to remember as an event organizer, if you've got speakers, definitely get their social media handles on the slides or on the on the booklet or on your flyer on your website. Definitely. The second thing, most definitely, which Lenka did well at Cambridge Social Day, is to remind people about the hashtag. That's why she called me and said, "Can you talk about the hashtag?" Because people don't understand why they're doing it. They think some people may not understand about the hashtag, but there may be people who think, oh well, I'm not going to post because it's not about me, but it's so about you. You are investing in yourself to attend a webinar or attend a conference, a virtual summit, or a live one. So I will, if I'm thinking of hiring somebody to do something, I'd rather go with a company who is keeping up to date with the news and everything to do with industry. So with Cambridge Social Day, Lenka selects some incredible speakers to talk about the latest and greatest, gives you strategies on what you should do. She attracts a lot of social media managers and agencies to her conference because they want to learn what is the latest and greatest, what we should be looking at, what are the trends at the moment. And so if you are an agency, or even if, as a business owner, you are actually investing time in going to an event, you're actually investing in your business and future-proofing your business. So you want to associate yourself with a brand because you're actually learning from the best. So, I would rather hire that person than someone who is stuck in the 90s. I mean, I heard someone speak about social media, but I had to get on page 1 of Google. And I heard he was talking about a strategy that's no longer applicable now. It's no longer applicable as of 2 years ago. And social media is exactly the same. I actually learned an incredible piece of information yesterday. I'm not a big Facebooker, but I thought that posting posts should not be a thing. You shouldn't do it. But I actually learned that Facebook posts, you should do it within context. And the context is really, really important. So that's changed. So yeah, you should definitely encourage people, event organizers should definitely encourage people to use the hashtag, explain to people why they're using the hashtag. You use the hashtag to tell the world that you are learning from the best, and you are going to take that information and you pass it on to your clients. That's what you use the hashtag for, not to get Cambridge Social Media Day trending. It's not about them, it's about you.
Fantastic. We have one more comment from Dana, who says, I really like Making's perspective that when you are at an event, don't fear not taking so much knowledge because you can watch the seminar somewhere, but the point is networking to taking the offline to online. It's a new perspective. So it's a very interesting that you kind of bringing that. We're often seeing going to conferences like, I will absorb all the knowledge and I'm there for the speaker because this is my only chance to actually get to see the speaker. And often people then get themselves a little overwhelmed with all the knowledge and they forget about the part of actually being part of the event, not only in person, but also what's happening, because there's often happening so much about the event online, and you can then meet other people who are not there. You can meet them online as well.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well is that I know, so every year I go to San Diego to Social Media Marketing World, biggest conference in the world. And I know people who fly over from the UK, they don't attend any sessions, they go deliberately to network. deliberately to meet people because they know that the people are going to be there. And the other thing you can do is actually, again, by using that hashtag, you can search for people and see who's there. Click on their bios, and if they look like interesting people, send them a message and say, oh, I hear you're at Cambridge Social Media Day too. Do you fancy having a cup of tea at the tea break? Do you fancy grabbing lunch together? And that's how you can start a conversation. So do go and have a look on the hashtag, see who is an active user of the hashtag, see if there's anyone who is interesting that you would like to know you could potentially collaborate with, you could potentially work with. There is a lot of power in the networking. Networking is just as important as learning from the speakers.
Yeah. Fantastic. People started engaging with your advice, with your goal, with your task. So we're getting some great tweets. So people keep them coming. Take a screenshot, take a photo, take a selfie. Let us know. Tag us on Twitter. Tag me on Twitter. Let us know. We will retweet. We will reshare. So obviously you will get some publicity, and we will connect you with others. We have a question from Amanda. And she's asking, do you think you should have 2 different profiles on social media, business and personal?
No, not anymore. You cannot hide behind your logo anymore. We used to be able to, but people have always bought from people. And what social media is incredible at is really leveled the playing field between the big guys and us. And so, we can compete with agencies or, big companies, but we can only compete with them if people get to know who we are as a person. If they like us, then they will potentially buy from us. So no, and in fact, when you create a profile, try not to use your logo as your profile picture. Always use an up-to-date picture. Like I said, when I spotted Lenka, I thought, that is her. That is definitely her. That is her. Where I've seen some photographs and I cannot even fathom who that person is. I had that happen in San Diego, actually. This person came up to me and said, we've been tweeting quite a bit, and I couldn't recognize her. I said, I apologize. I said, I'm so sorry, I'm jet lagged. And anyway, she tagged me in the photograph. And yeah, it was quite different from the profile picture. So no, don't have a company profile and a personal profile. Mold them into 2. People want to get to know you as a person, not just about your business. If you keep banging on about your business all the time, you're going to sound like a broken record, and people are going to switch off. So you need to talk a little bit about your personal stuff. Don't go crazy, don't tell the world about absolutely everything, but tell the world know a little about something. I had an incredible piece of information yesterday, actually. I was talking to a guy, he saw me tweet, and he said, let's jump on a Zoom and have a cup of tea. And for some reason, I was not necessarily ashamed, but I felt like I had to justify that my parents live with me. And because it's a different culture in the UK, living with your parents, well, technically they live with me, but living with your parents is seen as not the dumb thing, especially as I'm 46. But the chap said, don't worry about what the people think. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy, and especially in this climate, right? And yeah, I'm so grateful to my folks right now, so grateful. I mean, they live with me and they cook and clean, they do everything. They even ground me when I'm a naughty girl too. And so I actually took a picture of the 3 of us, when we were having, Mum was making tea, my dad was sharpening the knives so that he could cut some meat, and I was making the tea. Of course I was making the brews. And I put that picture up there, and it's the first time I actually put a picture on Twitter about, me and my brother, me, my mum and dad, and of course people loved it. I got engaging with people and stuff. So definitely show a little bit of your personal life. It doesn't have to be absolutely everything though.
Fantastic. Amanda says thank you. She will merge her account and she will follow your advice. We had a comment from Louise who said, I can really relate to FOMO easily. Thank you for introducing this idea that investing in yourself, it's enjoyable. So looking at the positive side of FOMO, which is fantastic. We had a comment from Lee who said that she has to leave, that she has a Zoom call, but thank you. And She's been tweeting a storm, so obviously
Oh,
talking
thank
with
you.
paid
Thank you.
off, and she really has learned so much and implemented. It's fantastic when you see people not only watch what you do, but learn from you and implement that as well. And I will wait for a couple more questions if they will come. If not, then I will just say a huge thank you for all your brilliant advice and all your tips and tricks, because it's always a pleasure to have you, and you always bring so much energy and positivity and encouragement and just like good
And white
advice.
teeth.
And very funky white teeth, yes. So thank you so much for being here. Is there anything, any final advice, anything that you comes to your mind, or anything that you would like people to do or check out?
I actually I'm doing social media strategy reviews at the moment. So the lady that I talked about, the CX Nomad, she wanted someone to have a quick look at the social media just to check that they were doing okay. And I did. I ended up doing a 20-page report. She does extremely well on Instagram, and she wasn't sure about the other platforms. So, you know, the biggest key point was that I said, what you do in Instagram, you repurpose it onto LinkedIn, but actually do it the other way around. Write in LinkedIn first, because you're only allowed 1,200 characters there, and then post onto Instagram, and you can expand on that. I gave lots of other tips, you know, there's 20 pages. But if you're interested in that, for me to look at your social media platforms, give you a report as detailed as that, give you suggestions on what you can do. Yeah, just hit me up, and I will do that for you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for the offer. Thank you, everyone. If you want someone to have a look at your social media, want a little support and advice what to do, just get in touch with May King. I'm sure that you will not have a problem finding her online. And before we go, I want to say a huge shout out to Tim Lewis, who liked and who's probably watching live. So hello, Tim, good friend.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Tim is amazing. Tim is fantastic. Anyway, I wanted to say a huge thank you for everyone who watched this video live. It was great to have you here, guys. Thank you for all your comments and questions. As always, if you have any further questions, leave them in comments, get in touch directly with us or directly with May King, and we will always make sure to get back to you and reply to your questions, especially if you're watching this as a replay and you didn't have a chance to interact with us live. Then don't hesitate to just drop us a comment, drop us a message, and we will always get back to you. We have more very helpful, hopefully helpful, interesting events coming up in the coming weeks. And next week is what was supposed to be our April meetup, which now obviously is our virtual meetup, which will be slightly different to our Facebook Lives. It will actually be a Zoom call where you will all join in, and we will all have a little bit of fun and a little bit of networking and a little bit of get to know each other and that kind of thing. And we have the positively lovely Joe Glover from the Marketing Meetup joining us as our guest speaker, and he will talk about personal branding. What is it? Why it matters? What is the real thing? What is the real deal for personal branding? And what is just the bullshit around personal branding? So that's happening next Wednesday, again at 12 o'clock. We will, if you join on Facebook or if you join on Meetup, we will send you the link, and it will be live, so you will actually be able to interact with us and talk to us. If you don't want to, you don't need to, you can stay muted. We're not forcing anyone, but this is our monthly opportunity to kind of see each other and catch up. But I wanted to say a huge thank you for everyone joining us live and for May King, and I'll see you shortly. Thank you, everyone. Bye.